Yo, Yamamo, Aqua Bastronco, so Ebion, so Eba, a POG Media. So, yes, there's a Safi no bar. Obe subscribe na while like Age Media no Edia. May obit so Age Media no na afofro and so and sa akabian. Please click on the notification bell so send a bear. Yeah, the any news be out to platform no so I was one who the airco and any airba. Na yebeda masin nyame so nhyaaw se ojebre bia na ohwe ye dwumadie no edemaye na yekoyensam no so no NDC as usual ene omaye moment of truth eye abrano no sei omode eye Ghana ya sitena ne ya bra bomu nsem eye dey ebetudwa na this is part of their campaign eye strategy omo so omode bie eye Ghana for yen ani ewo eye katahyehe ene proye ekoso ewo eye Akufo-Addo ene na aban mu na ene no omubowura eye ejapadiu mu na ejapadiu no mo kan ho nsem bebre se ejapadiu no eye Akufo-Addo mu de be $12 million na ewura eye saa ejapadiu ni mu a chese saa $12 million na ayera yehu ekire kwan a eye owura asame jamfi ebobo so no chese saa $12 million no nanka ebetimi aye nioma pi ewo Ghana ha ebetimi ebie enyuma ebetimi me fan say ebetima sayare pi so hu ebetima aye enyuma bebre na ekra no o kire mu say saa $12 million no ebetima save the lives of air money or say ubowura eye Kwalebu ene eye hospitals aka eye wo ebiti say omo kidney problems and those stuffs no and that's our renal functions and sayare aka no bebre no na ke betima use saa $12 million na ede save omo life na so saa nkofo we mu nyina no dodo na ede ewu a wode numbers no dey etudwa na o chese eye Akufo-Addo ene na aban no chese omabo yabro yi pa na omugusu omobo yabro enti no ebeye eye 2024 abato na eye bekum no monhwe saa ne omawe na omonto aba emfa entia omo na okanse mebre enti no tie ni yi a na ode wonso adwenkyere ahye under the comment section nim ede amai so yenko na yenkonko tie yensema eye owura asame jamfi ede tudwa e wosanse mu medamase.
Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the media. On behalf of the leadership of the National Democratic Congress, I would like to thank you for honoring our invitation at such short notice. You are warmly welcome to the headquarters of the great NDC for this all-important press conference. Before we proceed further, permit me to acknowledge various media networks who are streaming this all-important engagement live on their highly esteemed platforms. We are grateful to Joy News Television for streaming this program live. We are also live on UTV, TV3 intermittently, GH1, Metro TV, Kesbin FM and the affiliate stations in the Ashanti region and across the country, TV XYZ, Pan-African TV, CTV, Loud Silence TV, Ahoto 92.3 FM, Power 97.9 FM, Asempa 94.7 FM, Radio Gold 90.5 FM, and on the NDC official communication bureau pages on Twitter and Facebook. We are also live on Addo FM 99.1 in Kumasi, Sunyane FM 88.1 in Sunyane, Tadi FM, Dagbon 102.5 FM in Tamale, Accra 100.5 FM, Class FM, and also on Media General, we are live on Unuya TV, we are live on 3FM, and we are live on Unuya FM. We are most grateful to all these media partners for giving us live coverage for this very important press conference. Ladies and gentlemen, in recent weeks, we have keenly followed ongoing proceedings of the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament on the report of the Auditor General on public boards, corporations, and statutory bodies for the year ended 31st December 2022. the ongoing Public Accounts Committee hearings have brought to the fore some very disturbing issues that border on corruption and abuse of public funds by certain state institutions. Of particular interest to us is the latest revelation about the colossal expenditure made by the Minerals Income Investment Fund, MIF, on the botched Ejapa royalties deal. Ladies and gentlemen, during the committee's consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the accounts of MIF for the period ended 31st December 2022, the Chief Executive Officer of MIF, one Edward Nana Yao-Cranton, disclosed that a humongous amount of $12 million, equivalent to 153 million Ghana cedis, which is equivalent to 1.5 trillion old Ghana cedis, was spent on the aborted, or should I say stillborn, Ejapa royalties scam. Ladies and gentlemen, during the committee's consideration of the report, the CEO of MIF stated that this colossal amount was spent on the setting up of the Ejapa SPV, the payment of so-called consultancy fees, and the rental of office space, and the processes leading to the initial public offering towards the listing of Ejapa royalties on the London Stock Exchange. This is what they claim to have spent 153 million cedis, equivalent to 1.5 trillion old Ghana cedis on. The Ghanaian public was taken aback by these disclosures, which add to the never-ending list of corruption scandals that have plagued the nation under the watch of President Akufo-Addo and his corrupt protege, Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia. For us in the National Democratic Congress, this disclosure does not come as a surprise. We are on record to have stated, times without number, that the Ejapa royalties deal was yet another phony scheme cooked by the corrupt Akufo-Addo Bawumia government for the sole purpose of appropriating the mineral royalties of the country for themselves in perpetuity. Ghanaians would recall that during the intense public debate on the infamous Ejapa deal, the NDC took a principled position to stand with the people of Ghana. We kicked against the whole Ejapa arrangement on grounds that the country's mineral royalties had been grossly undervalued under the opaque deal, and that same was going to deny future governments and generations mineral revenues for development. Consequently, the NDC minority caucus in Parliament staged a walkout when the Ejapa deal was presented to Parliament for approval. Sadly, but unsurprisingly, the corrupt ruling New Patriotic Party used their numbers in Parliament to approve the sleazy Ejapa deal in spite of the huge public outcry over the lack of value for money surrounding the deal. The flag bearer of the NDC and inshallah, the incoming president of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, vowed at the time to cancel the fraudulent Ejapa royalties deal if he won the 2020 general elections. A position that has not changed. Several civil society organizations, including Imani, Sh0ck, PIAC, the Ghana Integrity Initiative, IDEC, ESEPA, ASEP, among others, kicked against this ripoff called Ejapa, based on sound arguments and alternative proposals, all of which were ignored by the corrupt and nepotistic Akufo-Addo Bawumia government, who were hell-bent on stealing our mineral royalties. Subsequently, the Office of the Special Prosecutor established in its corruption risk assessment reports that the Japa deal was fraught with procurement rigging, statutory breaches, potential money laundering, and inimical to the national interest. Eventually, the chilling details of this report, coupled with sustained pressure from the National Democratic Congress and civil society, compelled the president to shamefully beat a retreat and refer the deal, which he had already given executive approval for, back to Parliament for reconsideration, pending the 2020 general elections. My brothers and sisters, throughout our struggle against this Ejapa heist, we never knew and never imagined that the ruling MPP had spent a staggering $12 million equivalent to 153 million Ghana cedis on this deal. With each passing day, and as the clock ticks to the 7th December 2024 elections, for Ghanaians to kick this irredeemably corrupt government out of office, the countless skeletons in their closet of corruption keep unfolding before our very eyes. These are indeed sad times for the people of Ghana. We in the NDC are completely appalled by the decision of this corrupt government to spend this colossal amount of money on the Japa scam, which never saw the light of day. It is unconscionable and, in fact, the height of cruelty that the government of President Akufo-Addo and Alhaji Bawumia engage in this naked thievery and brazen abuse of the public purse at a time, ladies and gentlemen, that our country was battling the dreaded COVID-19 pandemic, and Ghanaians were already reeling under excruciating hardships. Friends from the media, not even COVID could stop our friends in the MPP from stealing from the people of this country and the suffering masses under the guise of this stinking Ejapa deal. As you may recall, the OSP established beyond every reasonable doubt that the Ejapa deal violated the Public Procurement Law, the Public Financial Management Act, and the 1992 Constitution of Ghana, and therefore, the entire transaction was null, void, and of no effect. The most startling revelation of the OSP in its corruption risk assessment report on the Ejapa scam was the fact that some illegal payments were made to certain entities under the deal. These entities included Databank, a company which was founded and is still owned by Ken Oforiatta, cousin of President Akufo-Addo, the immediate past finance minister, who has been promoted to the position of senior presidential advisor on the economy and special envoy on international investments and the capital markets. The OSP also found similar illegal payments were made to African Legal Associates, a law firm belonging to Gadi Ochredakun, cousin of President Akufo-Addo, who today says he has resigned from Ghana's politics. Ladies and gentlemen, all these payments were found by the OSP to be unlawful, hence null and void. Yet till date, these payments, which did not benefit the country in any way or provide any value to the country, have not been retrieved by the state. These are indeed sad times for the people of Ghana. My brothers and sisters, we all know what good this gargantuan amount of money we are talking about, which is equivalent, like I said, to 153 million cedis and 1.5 trillion old Ghana cedis, could have achieved in Ghana's bankrupt economy if it had been put to judicious use. This money could have sufficed to pay the cost of several months of treatment for all kidney patients in Ghana, 19 of whom died painfully following the shameful closure of the Kolebu renal unit over government's 4 million Ghana cedis indebtedness. We could not get 4 million Ghana cedis to clear the debt at the renal unit at Kolebu, for which reason that whole unit was shut down for months, leading to the avoidable deaths of 19 kidney patients. Why? Because we didn't have 4 million Ghana cedis. Yet we have wasted 153 million cedis on a deal that never materialized, a deal that was aborted owing to our vigilance. Ladies and gentlemen, again, the colossal amount of money we are talking about could have been used to provide childhood vaccines to protect innocent babies from dying from childhood diseases due to the shortage of essential vaccines. You were all in this country not too long ago where we recorded shortages of childhood vaccines, and children died in this country because government said they didn't have money. They had to take our neighbors, Nigeria, to loan us vaccines before we could save and protect our own children. Yet, this government can waste and misappropriate 153 million Ghana cedis of taxpayers' money. Again, ladies and gentlemen, the amount of money we are talking about, if you don't know, could have procured textbooks for basic school children who have gone 5 years without curricular-based textbooks after the introduction of a new curriculum. Again, this $12 million we are talking about, this money that we have lost to sheer greed, selfishness, and corruption, could have paid allowances of national service personnel in Ghana who have not been paid for 4 months and counting as we speak today. Additionally, this huge amount of money we are talking about could have been used to create thousands of jobs for NAPCO beneficiaries who have been sent home after they were promised permanent employment. This amount of money, again, could have been used to provide potable drinking water or to construct several cheap compounds or schools for children who are sitting under trees, cheap compounds for people who cannot access healthcare in many deprived communities in Ghana, potable water for many Ghanaians who drink cyanide-polluted water, water that animals drink from. We could have used this amount of money for these meaningful investments for the benefit of the country. Sadly, but very characteristic of the corrupt and nepotistic Akufo-Addo Bawumia government, they have distributed all this money among themselves under the guise of expenditure on an aborted, stillborn Ejapa scam. We are totally disgusted, and I believe you are too, by this wanton dissipation of public funds on a needless and useless venture by a government that rode on the back of an anti-corruption campaign into office with a promise to protect the public purse. My brothers and sisters, where did we go wrong? What crime have we committed to deserve this kind of treatment from our own leaders? Why are we being subjected to a constant abuse of our meager state resources by the ruling MPP government? At a time, many cannot even afford 1 square meal a day. At a time, our nation is faced with economic bankruptcy, marked by debt default, an all-time high unemployment rate, high interest rates, the highest in Africa, high inflation rates, and unprecedented socio-economic hardships. What crime have we committed to President Akufo-Addo and his corrupt protege, Alhaji Bawumia? The penchant of this government to hide behind crafty schemes, such as the Ejapa deal, to steal from the people of Ghana is just too much. It is not, if it is not about mortgaging future mineral royalties for a phony offshore entity called Ejapa. Then it is about dubious payment of $2 million for a phantom SkyTrain project, which never saw the light of day. From the PDS TV, orchestrated by Alhaji Bawumia, to the unconscionable Ameri Innovation deal, all the way to the stinky SML scandal, this government has been relentless in their greedy pursuit to fleece the state coffers. Ghanaians have had enough of this Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration, which has earned the dubious distinction and reputation as the most corrupt government in the history of Ghana. Today, Ghanaians are suffering because the meager resources of the country, which are supposed to be put to judicious use for the benefit of all Ghanaians, have been hijacked by a select few. This is why today, students are suffering. Teachers are suffering. Nurses are suffering. Doctors are suffering. Market women are suffering. Drivers are suffering. Mates are suffering. Okada riders are suffering. Engineers are suffering. Pastors are suffering. Church members are suffering. Journalists are suffering. Spare parts dealers are suffering. Women are suffering. Men are suffering. Boys are suffering. Girls are suffering. Children are suffering. And all of us are suffering. We are suffering because of the unprecedented corruption we are witnessing under the Akufo-Addo Bawumia government. It is as simple as that. The Japan scam, ladies and gentlemen, clearly amounts to willfully causing financial loss to the state. And the culprits must not go unpunished. I want to repeat this for emphasis. Fellow countrymen and women, the Japan scam clearly amounts to willfully causing financial.
So you so Sami Jemfi ne press conference and I said the moment of truth by NDC Sami Jemfi de ho amanebo ebrey so tie mu a wabobo many issues and as we attack many issues very delicate ano de ne pay so ye Ghanaian as so it is ansem we na what say every say ano de ne say no crest Ejapa deal no yes, because $12 million can do a whole lot of things and yeah agro a bit me a year at my 4K and pimpim a bit me a solve a many cases a bit messy hospitals a bit my year major rules and your ma aka amacha say a Ghana fonka your home atoy and so MPP are still focused on a Ejapa deal no Newz Ejapa deal ne dia akwede enka akwa da nanka enho asem de enka ekọ nenso NDC for true day this moment of truth no Sami Jemfi abechire mu say Sh0ck ye friend no anasa Sh0ck $12 million no na MPP for ide ase na just enya agro so yenko ensem no onka nwie or the nsem bebre dey atuja so yenko na yenko tie ensem no ento aso Sami Jemfi and the amanebo bebre dey ebre no yenko na yenko tie medamase
not go unpunished. We in the NDC and all well-meaning Ghanaians repose huge trust and confidence in the nation builder, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, to pursue and retrieve for the state public funds that have been lost to looting schemes such as this stinking Ejapa scandal, the PDS scandal, the Bosgate scandal, and other acts of naked thievery by officials of the Akufo-Addo Bawumia government and their party apparatchiks. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has demonstrated, both in government and out of government, that he detests corruption and will never condone corruption, nor shield the perpetrators of corrupt acts. He has stated clearly that the days of the corruption clearing agents will officially come to an end come 7th January 2025. When by the grace of God and the people of Ghana, he assumes office as president. He has said and demonstrated before that the sword of the fight against corruption will cut both ways under his government, no matter whose ox is God, whether you belong to his government or not. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, same cannot be said about our main opponents in the upcoming 2024 general elections. I am talking about Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia, the failed vice president and chair of the economic management team, the clueless driver's mate, and the discredited flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, who has proven to be not only dishonest, but very corrupt. This is the man who orchestrated the stinky PDS scandal by deliberately and illegally relaxing the condition precedent of a bank guarantee, thereby aiding PDS to defraud Ghanaians to the tune of 1.5 billion Ghana cedis in electricity tariffs alone. According to the Institute of Economic Affairs, IEA, Ghana lost a whopping $2 billion from this scandal, which was orchestrated by Bawumia alone. Again, this is the man who was named in the NAS number 12 investigations and fingered in the Galamsey economy documentary by Kesi and Charles Addo, respectively, as a collector, arranger, fixer, and receiver of appearance fees, also known as bribes. There's a man who attempted to steal 10 containers of rice belonging to a Ghanaian businessman for Ramadan donations through his director of administration, Sh0ck. As we speak, the said director of administration is being prosecuted by the Office of Special Prosecutor, yet he still works with the Office of the Vice President. There's a man who continues to lie through his teeth to Ghanaians without any restraint or shame. And I can go on and on and on. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, the fact is simple. The appearance fee merchant Bawumia cannot be trusted to fight corruption because he is himself corrupt. The only way Ghanaians can get to the bottom of the litany of corruption acts and scandals involving officials of this government, including Bawumia himself, is for the good people of Ghana to resoundingly boot the MPP out of office on 7th December 2024. In so doing, our surest bet of exacting genuine accountability will be to vote overwhelmingly for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the NDC to enable us pursue true accountability, which has been missing in our national affairs in the last 7 to 8 years. My brothers and sisters, I stand here with the full blessing of the next president of the Republic of Ghana, inshallah, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, to inform you, and by extension the good people of Ghana, that the next NDC government will investigate the stinky $12 million Ejapa scandal, retrieve all illegal payments made under same, and ensure that all the perpetrators are prosecuted. The day of accountability and reckoning is fast approaching, and no one found culpable will be left off the hook by the next NDC Mahama government. This is a solemn pledge and our charge to keep when, by the grace of God and the good people of Ghana, the NDC assumes the reins of government in 2025. We call on the Ghanaian electorate not to allow President Akufo-Addo and his corrupt cabal of family and friends install as president their puppet, Alhaji Bawumia, whose sole mission is to cover up the many ills of this remarkably corrupt administration and insulate wrongdoers, including himself, from prosecution and punishment. We are absolutely confident in the Ghanaian people to rise to the occasion and reject corruption, reject nepotism, reject impunity, reject arrogance of power, reject economic mismanagement. Come 7th December 2024. Enough of the corruption, enough of the thievery, enough of the abuse of the public purse, which continues to impose untold hardships and suffering on the entire nation. Enough is enough. Thank you for your attention, and thanks for coming, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, let me do it. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, as the custom is, I did this English presentation, I believe, in about 30 minutes, but I'll try and use 10-15 minutes to summarize the presentation in the 3 dialects for the benefit of the account stations who are streaming this press conference live. When we are done and you still have questions, we will give you the opportunity to answer that. Thank you for your understanding. Abusuafo ayeshia yeda mu nyina mo ase se yeto yensa frɛ mu mmeriti ya wo maba. Ene ye frɛ mu a na asɛm wɔ hɔ ne sɛ na wɔtwe atwa mi wɔ mmarahyɛ bedwam. Public Accounts Committee a ɔmo na Auditor General ye ehwehwɛmu ɛfa ɔman Ghana yesikasɛm ɛho a ɔde ne krata ekogya wɔn no. Omo ene impenyufo a ewo Mineral Income Investment Fund MIF for edinkita ho about the 2022 Auditor General report wa about beto Parliament for enim. Na emra ye toto opanyimpa a odeda saa adwumayeko ya no yi ye toto na no no. Mrahye bedwafo a ewo Public Accounts Committee su bisa ne se ora eye ejapa deal na aban hyehye se ode ba be ye adwuma amaso no anye bia sika sen e na oman no asɛ no wo ho owura no bie na no a ɔse sika nko o ma sɛ no wo sa ejapa deal ne ho no eye kwasi broni America sika no $12 million. What they buy in Ghana sika ni mu a opepe ohadronum miensa 153 million cedis. Now the court it sika ni mu a eya opepe pepe ohadronum miensa na akiri. She say sika nko a aban ne say ejapa deal na akura se makamenwe deal na amaso a Ghana fo ye nya so mfaso bia no e ka nko o mabɔ no ho no no. Sasem way Sh0ck Kesi. Asɛm a ehu ye NDC for the aboye pusa. Esan sɛ asɛm yi start ye de ani di akire. Ejina ma ɔman no koma ɔman no ye ne civil society organizations bebree. Ye magana for any aban te ase sɛ sa deal na enya ejapa deal ejaboni deal. Esan sɛ nipa kakra bi a wa ban ni mu na afa kuntura se ne fakadam kwan so sɛ Oman no ya gudi a onyame e de akyɛ yɛn. Fom agudie ti sɛ gold, ya bauxite, ya manganese. Aban bi aba no wa baba bejeje hu sika kakra. No de ayɛ oman ni yie no. Sa MPP foi afa frakadam kwan so mpɛ omo jeje sika ni nyina carry forward. Na omo di sika ne nɛ. Na omo ne omo busuafo fa. Na nkyirima bɛba no na ye gold na ɛhyɛ fom no yatɔn. Your bauxite no yaton, manganese no yaton, sika no so a yedi. Ejapa no na se kyire nyina no no. Enti ye ka se ye nti ase da. Ye ho press conferences. Empo asemi koto mrahye bedwam ye mrahye bedwafo e wo ho sa mre no ye wura na dusu na da wona no. Omo bogu ye eto abetia ye. Ba se na mu nyina mu nim ya anom no. Omo sinkete se omo bebo man no kro no a omo de hu nya omo hu wo ye de nkra omo beye enti omo do so chen ye enti they approve the deal na mo be kaya ye gusu ye deda ma special prosecutor no wo sa amre no Martin Amidu Oye na adwen so be hwehwe asem ni mu. Odon sem ni mu asuko no ode beto abonten se the NDC ne civil society organizations e ka no e no kretro do na se wo hwe ejapa ni mu yi a procurement emra yetietia so ye emra fa ye constitution ye sikasa mu nyina yetietia so enti de omo ye ne ye dream kata hye ne proye. In fact se Ghana for be kaya eye se ejapa deal we enti na Martina mi do resign ye eye ejapa deal we no kopa ahontoma akufu Addo ma ne pressure oni Bawumia o se adwuma no kra wonye biem wagyae because omo pe na ku no mane be ka kire yen se akufu Addo ye wo maame wo primary maame mother serpent of corruption eye sa asemu ya enti Martina mi do the report ba ye no o man penya akufu Addo je ne ho enye because when we say no edi no and also we dey akurase maka menwe ye nti matwe asensan yen kwoto 2020 abamra na ban ebehu de obeye afa ho e de yen ka bi nhiem yen tehwe ya nwe ho da se ade a nko mo peso mo ya ma mo kwa ma mo anye no ombe baba be ka kire kwansi ma se o ma bo ho ka 153 million cedis equivalent to 1.5 trillion. Ni enim da kopem se auditor general's report equal parliament. Na mo be kaya sikei Martina mi do adi kan ya me hu se eye nipa binum wa ban we mu a omo ne omampanya kufu Addo ne Bawumia wa pam ena sa sikei akwa akodi omo ansa na asem we beto abonten kura no no wa ka kire nse sika ni bi ye de ama African Legal Association eye omampanya kufu Addo ne ma me nuaba Gabi Ochredako ne law firm ne ye de sika ni bi so ama Ken Kuntunkrunku Oforiata former finance minister ono so akufu Addo ma me nuaba the company are from data bank so mo ye transaction advisors abra sa companies nyina no omo ni contract papa bia edim wo mbrem na che se na nyina so papa bia ni wa ewo ho a ewo senka ye gina so e de aban sika titiri die sa e de ma wo mo ene omo nkire de omo de sa sika nyina ya omo se omo de tua consultancy fees omo se omo de rented dan abusuan for 153 million cedis ye de rented dan ye de high dan omo di sika no asɛ ne kwa omo che sika no e de ama wo mo na ye de ya asɛm a ye ka ne sɛ enne sɛ wo hwɛ ebra ye wom ahokyera ye wom konana ye wom nipa ebre wo mayi mu emu nurses emu a doctorfo emu a teacherfo emu nsemtwofo emu asofo enkoda emmabunu ene de keka ho a ye bra ye bre ahokyera ye kom adwuma ye nya bi nye sika ye ne ye botom nyina ya ade baako eye krono kata hyehye pro ye ne dwirima e koso no because sika was ye de oman ni ye emede ye yo ahoto ebre ye nyina no omampenya kufu Addo ne nabusuafo kakra bi Bawumia ne nabusuafo kakra bi agi sika na kentanso eno nti ne ye bre no because sika o ma fei 153 million cedis enye sika ketwa abusuafo o pepepepe ahadu onum yensa ne akire se ufa sa sika we na wo se kidney patients I wo Ghana nyina ai na omuntu bi ntua dialysis fees e wo kolebu udi tua omu nyina fees amomo wo betimi de tua omu nyina fees bro afe wo bi de be free kidney treatment for Ghana for what ayade ni nyina enne enkodan ketenkete a enche kra ne yenya vaccines emma wo mo se ye de be bo mo ho ban free intenchem ne childhood diseases enkra mofra yare no ebetimi atosa nuro ni nyina ba bebiri aka sa sikei ye mofra wo suku mu a ene wege mpo ye se nkra de da form because empani ho basic schools nkra titi nuase 5 years in the basic schools in fact you the new curriculum aba and so you nya sika to textbooks e man koda e be den ye mofra ababa be ye mpanyimpa ene ye se adwuma ni ho ti napkofuo ye de omo ka 9 months ye ntimi ntua omo tifie besi ne sikai ke betimi de bia adwuma mo manya bia ye national service fo ma ye adwuma Best abosumi na ye kwa bosumi num ni yentua omoka. Omala waka krebi na ye be say less than 1,000 cedis simple. Ye nya sika ye betua. Teacher training allowances yentua. Nursing training allowances omoka aso mbetua yentua. Oka bibia aban sika ni ho. Ena nipa etimi hwere omonkwa because say ya to kolebu renal unit mu. Yes, I buy the Kolebuka 4 million. I buy it in Tuya. But we can waste 153 million on corruption. Bonnet Ben Yadia Kufuado neba Bawumia. Bonnet Ben Yadia Yomo. Sa Ghana Eya Kufuado on one Japadia. Ghana ya Bawumia Kasa Japadia. And Kawobe for 153 million cedis. Where dear Senokwa, Yebisa was what your hind eye. Would you your consultancy fees? For a dear why ya. Eswa man fa swa magana phobia. Sa corruption scandal we been see Ghana bakosemu da. Na minimum maya ewo wiase a obi betumi aye sa de we afa ne ho adi. Na na de ye ka ne se de omaye no omama Ghana hwiri sika titiri die. Eye krono kese we echen am robbery. Krono kese e no mo de aba oman no. Na sika no mafa no eye nipa nkwa no mafa. Because Sika nke ebetumi de asi hospitals e de sanipa yade no uwi a uchen wudi ni kura sika ye betumi de aye oman ne uwi a uchen amroba enu ti ye de ye gina ha ye ka ne say this is a case of woefully causing financial loss to the state na nya de a omefa omo ho adi ye wura ya de nyina impuntunyuma wura His Excellency John Dramani Mahama say ye mo Ghana fo amane na obi ante titru alaji Bawumia. Se inshallah oba na okitana ketua debre ubia. Sika no mafa no yebeye mu hwehwemu. Baby ehye bia yebeje di ama oman no. They will not get away with 1 peso of this money. Mark my words. We will retrieve the monies. Near the 24-hour economy. Yebe retrieve sika no near the national apprenticeship program. I'm a Ghana for mu pensa no nyuma, omo mu pe nyuma enye biaye. That is what the NDC stands for. Nti abusuafo yada mo asese maba. Na de eka etwa to no say ye wura mahama nkwa na betimi akasa say yo. Because ono osia woyo. E na katahye ne proye so de ne ye wura mahama ni twaka bia. Mo amunim owo akonwa so. Na ne sekan no fa no atwa bankum twa nifa. Emrani diwa ediw onkasa we ne party ni nti wa clear ono onye corruption clearing agent nti o ma me clear obia te said ye na ote akonwa so a corruption scandals e see bia o hwe ma hwehwemu ko so ma ye jeje sa sika ni nyina ma wo man no ma ye de asotwe mapa ma wo mo a no mu di sansem ne ho fo no this time around he will not shield anybody na mo amunim se wo pana de Jack Toronto nu aketo no enya dia ono de obetumi aka bibi sei because ono katahye ne proye no ne nan sim ne nsa sim na no sim na fu sim ena ne toso ye den esim alaji Bawumia asem ne yeken ono na omampenye kufu ado no katahye ne proye duane na ye de ma no ma ne kwocheche ma ministers no enti ono ontumi nka so be fight corruption because oye very corrupt mo angaza mu ni PDS eti kromwa na Bawumia kofa Africa damfo bi mo de fake documents ebeji ECG boss jeje light bills nkwa 1.5 billion cedis be sinne the light bills na duane emeka aka na fonsa alaji Bawumia ntimi nye won hwe the same Bawumia mo be kai ana sari mi ya wana skoye galamse economy wiwemu ye che Minister of State Charles Adubuahin say oka se Bawumia de opo bi oje bribe o presidency class captain. The bribe no so onye ni cedis, oje ne dollars, $200,000 appearance fee. Eno na ama cedi no kra na ni ahoden no. Abusianfo another documentary here koye ya by the same Anas a mampenye Kufuado o position oka so de ne principal be ko eti akata agege ne proye. Na yasan so achi Bawumia nyantachi say ono so Bawumia de ope bribe pa. The same Bawumia and then the dinfo fro a rice master. Esan say businessman bia odene mo aba o my Ghana mu 10 containers of lily rice. Our pot, yes, say, wa ma me yi this 60 days. And inti was started here one crata, say, ma kutia who duty akwaje ne mo. Onkonko hea, ura Bawumia office a trail letter, basemono, o mampenyi, abedi eche Bawumia here, or de kwa kwaye Exp0se donation, Ramadan donation. Abuzi avo unsru ala. Kronwa de ye de yadoye for Ramadan. Haram Kesi say abusuafo. Yes so omumu amuso o na Bawumia ni mo hwe na letter no abrantie bi won the office keko se on the tray ne director of administration. Asema mi ke no kretro do wa di nwachi nya bia gugu ubehu. Me no ka say special prosecutor gina court wa. All prosecutors are abrantie ye di na asem de den. Abrantie no so ye Kristo ni so de o de Ramadan mo ye de. Nti esi den Bawumia beka se Kristo ni na ehia mo no. Abrasa mre no na ye di Ramadan. Na abusuafo mu ntie ni ye o se abrantie na nkasa na ewia ne mo a. Se Kristo ni owia mo akocha ma Ramadan fo a. Identity till date Bawumia a wagu nanimu ase. Oda so ni owura ne ye adwuma wo ne office imprimprin a ye kese. Identity a. Penyufo se openyi ntire fie ma sefu amfo. And openyi no tire fie ma mofra we nanka na ebu nankawefo a oka ho. De ntia on to me kan hwe nkyira brantie ne se wonim se oya abrantie ne bete ne to. Because we anya se ebu nankawefo no oka ho keke. Ono ankasa ne soma na se onkoye no akwakoye. So this is a man who cannot fight corruption because he is himself corrupt. John Mahama is incorruptible. John Mahama is incorruptible. And unti and where the MP, where the deputy minister, where the minister, where the Omanpenyi Abediache, where the Omanpenyi, Ababa your former president, they confuse what we need. And some way a cartoon is sunina, and what dance here Bako Kreni wa Abba. Bako Kreni when people for it didn't want dance Abba. Your friend Yoko da, your friend police station da. Your friend no Bako no crowd the same. Your friend baby ada. And the fan court because ne hu so sa brobe obe so mo man ye ebe ye enwuma pa a ene ayensa na ho anchiri manyina ba be this one faso. This is the man we are talking about, and this is the man who is promising say woba sa sikatitiri die 1.5 trillion old cedis. Sika ya sheshegu articulator so even in 200 Ghana cedis knows. Ya just a better articulator be 100. Eye sika titiri die pa. Eye sika esombo na eya areho. Se ya yempanyimfo a yato aba ma wo. Omo ba omo de nsem de ba, omo beto ye mrade, mo nso ye hwe, mo nso ye hwe. Ene omo de sa akro no yi edi yen. Omo ka kire nse, ba ko ka kire nse wanyini too much so be wi sika. O say I'm too old to steal your money. Sa na ono de o chen. Eni ti abusuafo ye frame a na de wo ho nyina no. Mama mayenka ya no ntum because Ghana is the only country we have. Monsem trofo mo na mo ka bi ewom. Mo na mo ka bi Ghana for bete. MPP for hu say omobo kro no ne ye kakakakra ye bejai. Sem trofo mo so mu da ba akoda mienu ye bejai. Abusuafo ye ntumi nye ne saa. Ye ntumi nye ne business as usual. We cannot allow these crooks to get away with all these serious crimes. This is the time to take a stand for Ghana. It is not about being an NDC person. Let's use our platforms to sustain pressure on them and to make sure that these guys are booted out of office. Nanse samba atentre ne beba. Ama baby yesika shebia no yakwa akoje e dia be your mind ye. Onyame hira mu nyina samaba. So I can see from your faces that you don't have any questions for me. Right? Yes. Thank you very much that you don't have any questions for us. While the music is going on, but even before we play the music interlude, I have a very important announcement for you. Please listen to me very carefully. There is, if you're streaming live for the press conference, you can cut us off now. But you can see that today.
Yo, yedamase strong kwanso. Jumadie no yede abawie na yede abawie no just say utie when you to boss tie and are who mo pay because Ghana no baby air kono in no cre in dedicated leaders, not a selfish leaders. Leaders are so selfish. Omuye diem no omabusua eye diem kwana omuye de omopeno ye hia sa leaders ni bi na semijamfi akasa so yesrew oye Ghana ni a wohwe dwumadie ya Mr. Wadwenkyere wo no Mr. so ode be share the comment section nim e de amaye e bia na onso wasem foforo bika e wo sansem we hu a Mr. fire day fashion the comment section nim e de my na Mr. oye foforo so a waba channel yin so abe de obe subscribe na wa like ege dwumadie no e de amaye se ne be ya ye de any news bia to platform so a onso hu ne e ko ene ne e ba ya POG Media ye guso anase ye be koso e de eye nsempa ene nsema ehwam e de abrem so yanko na next time no yesa de dwumadie soronko anase dwumadie foforo a edi honom e be de e be brem makramo medamase.